Hi everyone, welcome to Cemo Gemo, where Georgian food meets Italian food every day in my kitchen. Today I'll be showing you how to make authentic Cacio e Pepe, a Roman recipe that's made from scratch. We're going to make the pasta ourselves as well, by hand. We're not even going to use a pasta machine. Very quickly, I'll show you how to do it. And I go on YouTube quite often. I have my own channel, Cemo Gemo. Make sure to subscribe, turn on your post notifications, like and share. And I want to add to the library of videos on Cacio e Pepe. Classic, simple yet complex recipe. Let's get started. So we're going to use some flour, some eggs for the pasta, some whole black peppercorns, authentic pecorino romano, fulvi. That's it. And some sea salt for the water, pasta water. So let's get started. All we're going to do is add some eggs into the flour. There's our... Slowly going to incorporate the flour, but slowly, step by step. Because it's always better to have a wet dough, wet pasta dough, than have it too dry. After which you won't be able to really stretch the dough. It's almost ready. The pasta is almost ready to rest. I'm going to let it rest for about 30 minutes or so. So when you press it, it needs to come back. See, it needs to be elastic. It comes back, but it's kind of a little bit, doesn't come back as fast. It's not as springy. So that means it's not that elastic. So it doesn't need as much flour right now, but what it needs is, it needs a little more kneading. To knead the dough, to work the dough a little bit. Now the way I work it is I extend it and then I turn, quarter turn. So push and then turn the dough. Push, turn the dough. And that's it. Alright? So now I can tell that the pasta is done. It's elastic enough, doesn't stick. Now I'm just going to form it into a nice round shape for about 30 minutes. And turn the water on, boil the water, and that's it. Alright, so we're going to just grate some cheese. That's enough cheese. That's about 100 grams. For two people, 100 grams is more than enough. 50 grams a person, usually. Alright, so we're going to start stretching our dough. We'll make some tagliolini. Alright, very thin, long pasta. Alright, we're about to start to cut our tagliolini and get into the most exciting part of this video, guys. Also, you lose some calories while you make the pasta all by hand, guys. Because this is quite a caloric dish. Has a lot of cheese in it. 50 grams pecorino romano is not something to joke around with. Now, one of the questions you guys may have, those of you who don't make pasta at home regularly, is how thick do you need to make it? You have to make it as thick as it needs in order for it to be elastic. And you'll feel when it's elastic. See, notice that now it's a lot more elastic than it was when I started, right? See? It's a lot more elastic. Now, does it need to be all translucent? No, it should not be all translucent, but close to it. There we go. It should not stick because this dough has enough flour in it. But if it sticks, all you have to do is just sprinkle some flour. Just a little flour in between every layer. Alright? Now, work more like a machine. Okay, this is extra. Now, there we go. Up. So, this is about for 2 portions. There we have it. There we go. 2 portions ready to go in. Now, we're going to get this bowl ready to make a cheese sauce. Make sure the pasta doesn't get dry. You can either cover it up nicely or old style, just basically hang it up and let it air dry. This is hot, it's preheated. We're going to let these peppercorns whole toast. Okay, they're going to toast a little bit, about 2 minutes. So it's been toasting about 2 minutes. It's quite hot. Grind this a little bit. Okay. Quite hot. Transfer our pepper. Use a little bit of salt. Notice I'm not using a lot of water because I want the starches from the pasta to make their own sauce. Now this pasta is going to cook very quickly. Very quickly. Give it a quick stir. It's going to probably cook in about 2 minutes. Meanwhile, you guys remember the cheese, right? So what we're going to do now is, that pasta is releasing some starches in there. It's not a lot of water, has some salt as well, not too much. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just use a little bit of, just a little bit at a time. I'm going to add some of the pasta cooking water, make a little, somewhat of a cream. I'm going to keep it thick, as thick as I can. Also, in the meantime, I'm going to transfer some of the water into our pan. There we go. That should be good. We'll work on this very quickly. Now, back to the cheese. I like to add it gradually, instead of making a broth out of it, you know? It's not a soup. That should be just good enough, because the taste should be concentrated with the pecorino romano. Some people do add a little bit of Parmigiano Reggiano because it's less sharp, it gives it more of a neutral taste. Now all we need is the plate. Lower the heat. Okay. There we go. Makes a nice little sauce. If you need to add some more, you can add perfect. Looks great. Looks beautiful. Add just a little bit of the sauce. There, perfect. There we go. Now watch. Now we're going to take it off the heat. Turn off the heat. No more heat. Wait for about 10-15 seconds. Keep absorbing that liquid. And now add the cheese, guys. Add the cheese. Let it melt. Let it melt quickly. It should not be watered down. It should be a concentrated taste. Look at that. Look at that sauce it makes. See? You don't need the cheese to be dissolved in a lot of water before you add it. In fact, right after we plate it, what we're going to do is we're going to add some more pecorino. Perfect. Look at that consistency, guys. See, everything is all uniform. A lot of pepper on here, but it's all peppercorn. Perfect. So we're going to add just a little bit more. And it's done. Maybe just a little bit of the cooked pasta water. Look at that. Look at that. That's a real Cacio e Pepe, guys. Okay. There we go. That's my authentic Cacio Pepe made in New York. Bringing some taste of Rome to New York.